Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you are all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex and welcome back to some more GTA 5, where today we're going to be checking out yet another car from the latest DLC update for GTA Online. We're sort of getting there, we're almost at the end, but every time I think I'm there I look at my list and actually there's quite a few cars to go. And this one, which I really shouldn't have left this long, I really didn't intend for that to happen. This was the car that when I first looked at the updates I said was my favourite car, and I was going to leave the best till last, but then I realised that actually this came out like a couple of weeks ago and perhaps you guys are starting to get bored with this car, so I thought there's probably going to be no better time to cover it than now. So here we are with this, the Silvestra. I do believe, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe this is the first vehicle for GTA 5 that is based on a rotary engined car. I don't know if there's a rotary engine in here. In fact, let's just go ahead, open up the bonnet and have a look. Oh, and it's one of those type of... Ooh, okay. Definitely not a rotary. We can confirm that. Let's just open up all the doors. Seems in we're here. We'll have a nice look around this car. So this is apparently... Well, I mean, the bit that you could see is it's supposed to be based on an RX-3. You sort of get that from the front. There's also a little bit of... I don't know. This rear light bit here is very Toyota to me. Something sort of screaming like early Celica, I think, perhaps. I could be wrong and I might just be muddling up my names. But definitely, this is supposed to be a classic Japanese car. And there's lots of classic Japanese car influences throughout. This thing in GTA Online is $990,000. $10,000 shy of $1 million. This thing's quite pricey. It's not exactly fast, but there are a lot of tuning parts for this thing, so I guess that makes it sort of worth buying. I don't know, but we'll find out. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to do one build inside of Los Santos Customs, then I'm going to do a couple more outside using V-Stancer, Menus Mod, and all that sort of stuff, see what sort of awesome build we can make. So we've got some nice wide arches. I'm sure we can make a nice stanced out sort of, I don't know, we're going to do like a street stance, maybe a show car stance. We'll see what sort of parts we can get for this. So here we have the engine right here with these rather interesting sort of throttle bodies that are like curving round and up off the manifold. Would they be called throttle bodies? Is that okay? Every time I say something I second guess myself and then I'm never sure, but this is definitely, well, I'd say this is definitely not a rotary, even though presumably that's what it's based on with the original car. And then we've got the nice big empty boot, and then we've got this lovely classic interior. I do believe this is a different interior to usual. This is actually unique to this car. I don't recognize this from any other car, so it's nice that Rockstar have actually made something nice and unique there. We've got the sports wheel, we've got our dials, we've got our radio going on here, we've got some old school style heating there, because of course this is supposed to be quite an old car, and manual gearbox, handbrake, and it's also, you can't really use the rear seats, it's got these nice ballistic fibre sport seats in the front as well, as standard it would seem, and also these really awesome, nice, super wide mini lights that go up to the edge of the arch, which is always nice to see, because sometimes you get these wide arch cars and then you have these tiny little wheels stuck in there. I don't know if I could drive like this, but do you know what? I'm going to give it a try anyway. No? Okay, well, the bonnet flew off. Right, so also, that's actually quite fun for knocking people and police cars. Oh, and there goes my door. And there goes that person. And the door. Hey, the boot's still on, though. Wait, no. Okay, hang on, I need more of a run-up for this, I think. Here we go. No, wow. What does it take to get rid of the boot lid on one of these? Maybe I just need to hit a person instead. Nope, that doesn't do anything. Well, anyway, there's going to be some comments on the screen right now before we go any further with this video. These are comments featured from the previous video. If you would like your comments featured, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll pick some at random and feature them at the start of the next video. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter at Figureight. Links for my Twitter are in the description below. And that was terrible. Oh, there goes the boot lid. Right there. That was perfect timing. Oh, I'm stuck. I was so stuck that the game wouldn't even add the animation to get me out the car. It just chucked me on the top. Right, so let's just sort of spawn a new one of these in and jump to Los Santos Customs, shall we? Oh, look, and it's crashed right on schedule. Right, let me load the game up again. Okay, so I've just loaded the game up again, and before we jump in, I just want you... Wait, it's crashing again, isn't it? Oh, why are you doing this? Okay, third time lucky. Hopefully we won't get any crashes again, but I'm sure we will. Before we jump in, I just want you guys to have a listen to this, because the engine just sounds so amazing at idle, when it's revving, when it's moving, it just sounds beautiful. Have a listen. Absolutely beautiful. Right, okay, now we've heard it, now we've had a look round, now we've dealt with some crashes. Let's jump in to our online style build using no mods whatsoever in Los Santos Customs. Let's go. Okay, so here we are. So let's start off with brakes, race brakes, bumpers, front bumpers. Oh, beautiful. Look at all of this. So we have the stock front bumper, then we have the primary splitter right there down the bottom. Then we've got the secondary color splitter. Then we have the lightweight splitter, which might be some sort of like plastic thing. It sort of looks a bit rubbery. Then we have the lightweight bumper, which is just that plastic on the bumper part, getting no split or anything like that. Nice classic look as well, even though it's like not stock because it has the chrome. I like it sort of like an economy style version. Very nice. Then we have the removed bumper version. We have the capped removed bumper. Oh, it just sort of like smooths out. Oh no, it's still got the things there. You can still sort of see that they're there, but it fills the holes in at least. Then we have the lightweight bumper and splitter. If you wanted that full plastic combo look, is a nice look. I am a big fan of plastic bumpers and stuff. Very old school. I love that look. Then we have another removed bumper version, which also has the capped indicators as well. Smooths those off, but you can see where they were before they aren't smoothed. Then we also have the secondary color capped indicators. We have the removed bumper with the splitter. Then we have the primary bumper with the splitter. And we have splitter with tow hook. So a few different combinations there at the end. I think for this one, I don't know. I feel like I want to go for the lightweight bumper and the splitter. That, to me, seems like the natural way to go for this build. I'm going to go for it. Onto the rear bumpers now then. So we have the stock rear bumper. We have the lightweight rear bumper. Again, the plastic version. We have the removed version. Then we have that with the caps again. Then we have the bumper in the primary colour. We have it in chrome. Or with the whole back part in chrome as well, if you wanted to go for a full chrome look. Or we have the touring bumper with this big, massive splitter thing down the bottom. The diffuser right down the bottom there. I don't know. I mean, it is the same sort of like plasticky look as the front. So it seems we've got that splitter there. It's tempting. I think we're going to have to go for the touring bumper and make this one sort of like the all wild and out, and then we're going to go for the two cool street builds afterwards. Seems like I'm probably going to be using V-Stancer on those. Right, moving on to the chassis. We have the stock. We have the roll cage in there. Nice full roll cage. We have the luggage rack. Oh, just a nice little rack on the top. We have the cage and the rack if you wanted the combo of those. We have the lightweight louvers. Oh, I am a big fan of louvers. Then we have those in the primary colour as well. We have the race spec, which is the louvers and the cage. Then we have the rack and the louvers all in plastic. Then we have the rally spec, which is all of those things combined. Oh man, I'm feeling like this car should be all out, but I don't think that the roof rack really matches with this build, so I think it might just be the race spec. The louvers, the cage. Let's make this like a full race car build. Let's go for it. Then onto the engine, level 4. We're not going to be doing any speed tests, so it doesn't really matter. On the exhausts, we have the stock. I'm going to have to rev this up so we can see the exhausts here. There we go. So we have the stock. We have the race exhaust, a little bit bigger. We have the big bore exhaust. Whoa, that is a big old exhaust right there. Then we have, whoa, of course, the Shakatan exhaust. I'm sure we'll go with one of those in another build. Then we have the dual exit exhaust, which I think actually suits this one quite nicely. Or we do have the rally exhaust. That's just nice and shiny, but I feel like I want to go for the doubling up. So, yeah, let's go for that double up in the twin pipe. Right there. That's going to look pretty nice. Mind you, if we are going to go for a full racing build, maybe the rally one Yeah, I think that looks a bit more performance-esque. So let's go for that. Then we have, on the fenders, we have the stock fenders. We have the skinny fenders. So actually not really skinny at all. They actually look sort of bigger in a way, because the stock fenders sort of like flare down and sort of like a, I don't know, like a slope. Whereas the skinny fenders look really bulbous and weird. I guess they're just not as tall, so that's where the skinny name comes from. Well, that's an interesting look. We also have the lightweight skinny fenders, so we also have that with the plastic. Then we have it in the secondary colour as well. Just notice that the lightweight one doesn't have all the rivets and stuff, whereas the skinny and the secondary does actually have the riveted version. Then we have the full primary wide body fenders. Now that is nice. That is nice. And actually that rear panel bit there, for some reason just made me think of an Escort. Like that rear window there, that wide part, and actually the louvers made me think of like an old school Escort there. Just slightly. I got that for a second. Then we have the secondary colour versions. I mean, I'm never really into like the double colour ones of these, but maybe some of you are. Then we have the rounded fenders, huge, big. That is definitely a Boss Azoku style build. We'll definitely be doing that a bit later on. And then we have the GT fenders. Now that definitely doesn't go with the thing on the back, I don't feel. So I'm not going to go with that one. I think I'm going to go with these, the primary wide body fenders. Because that just makes it look like a really awesome racy sort of rally car thing. I like that. So moving on to the grille, still plenty of stuff to be checking out. We've got the stock grille. We've got the chrome open grille. We've got the vented grille. Oh, that is very cool. And again, it's in the same plastic texture, so everything matches. That actually makes it look like some old Eastern Bloc car in a way. Then we have the chrome vented grille version. We have the full chrome version. We have the lightweight grille. That's a little bit too much. I actually really like the double headlight look. That looks like a bit of a lost Volkswagen Golf or something. Then we have the chrome encased fog lights one. That's pretty nice. Then we have that in the primary colour. We have the chrome lights and intakes one. See, that looks a bit better. I mean, at least it's got like the quad hole thing going on. Then we also have that one, lights and intakes, again in the non-chrome version. Then we have the grille spoiler. Again, that makes it look a lot like a Volkswagen Golf again. Then we have the full, massive, just full-on intakes going on in chrome. Then we have that all blacked out to end. Right, I think that's a little bit too much. I think we should go with this one in the non-chrome. I think that looks nice. Then onto the hood, we have the stock hood, we have the secondary hood colour, then we have the carbon version, we have the vented, we have the side vented, we have the secondary side vented, and then we also have exposed turbos. That is interesting. Not sure. I feel like this build's supposed to be a little more practical, so no, I think I might just go for the nice classic side vented hood. So it looks like it has a use. It's not just sort of just stuck on there. I think that looks nice. We'll go with that. Then we have horn and lights. I'm just going to ignore those as usual. Liveries we'll leave to the end, I guess. Then we have on the mirrors, we have the stock mirrors. We have them in chrome. We have the no mirrors version. Then we have the classic mirrors there in chrome, or we have the lightweight mirrors all the way down the front, which is basically just like the plastic version of the ones that are already there. I mean, we could go for that, so we have just more plastic stuff. But I do like the look of those chrome classic mirrors. I think I might leave those for another build. I'm just going to go for the lightweight mirrors on this one and just make it full race car. Although, thinking about it, maybe no mirrors would be more race car. Don't you think? Yeah, let's do it. No mirrors. Onto the plate. I actually think that the blue plate suits it perfectly, so we'll keep that. Respray we'll leave to a little bit later on. Spoiler, we have a huge selection here, as we can see. We have none, which is just nothing. Then we have the low ducktail, again riveted on, matches the rest of it, very nice. Then we have the low level spoiler right there. We have the high ducktail. That's going to look really nice with the Boss Azoku style one, I think. Then we have the bolt on ducktail. I love ducktail spoilers. It's good to see that someone at Rockstar must love ducktails, because they always have a nice selection with these. So we have the street spoiler, we have the race spoiler, big, massive thing. I think we might actually go with one of these for this, just because they look like they might actually have a use. Then we have the primary race spoiler, the touring spoiler. Oh, it's attached to the back as well. Or we have the big wang. Interesting. It's actually called the big wang. Is that referenced to Theo at all? I don't know. Black Panther? Because I think it might be. I think that might actually be a node to Black Panther there, Theo. Well, interesting. I think it's a little bit too much for this car. So I'm going to go for the touring spoiler because I think that suits it really nice. And I'm just a big fan of those spoilers that attach at the back, so why not? Then we have suspension. We can go lowered, we can go street, we can go sport. Actually, not much of a drop there. Really not that much of a drop for this car. So we're going to have to go hard with our slamming a little bit later on. Then we have transmission, race transmission, turbo tuning, and then it's just a case of wheels and windows. I'm going to leave the windows stock because this is a race car. And I'll tell you what, these wheels are really nice. For stock wheels, Rockstar have really hit the nail on the head with these. But I do think, the thing is I think that all the really cool wheels are probably going to be available only in the menus mod and aren't just going to be in the standard sports wheel section. Mind you, we do have these like the Endos. They are sort of like good generic racing wheels, I feel. They can work. The Oozer looks pretty nice as well. Or maybe the Cosmo. Actually, I think the Cosmo works really nicely with this. And also, it sort of references a Mazda as well. So, yeah, why not? We'll keep that as a Mazda theme then, even though it's actually probably not based on the Mazda Cosmo at all, but made me think of it. So we'll go for that in the colour of... should we just leave it? Let's just leave it standard. I always change the colours, and perhaps I shouldn't. Yeah, we could also go for some custom tyres. Do you know what? As it's a race car, why not? So we'll leave the respray till last because I want to see what liveries we've got first. So we have the yellow stripe going around there. Interesting. Interesting. We have the Silvestra down there at the bottom in black. Obviously this green doesn't look that great, so probably another colour would make that look a lot nicer. Then we have the white stripe going down there. It's actually a double stripe, a thick and a thin next to it. Then we have the anise, which is a red stripe, number 23. Anise badging on the front there. Then we have the classic racing livery, which... is that actually supposed to be green? I'm going to have to find this out. Hang on. Let's just go to, I don't know, classic. Yes, that's supposed to be green. I mean, that actually sort of goes with the green that we've already got, but I'm not really a fan of that colour. But anyway, there's all the stripes on there. Nice classic number 3 on the side. Then we have the Spenders, all in white. This could work with something. Spenders, number 12. Never actually heard of the brand Spenders before. Is that a new brand? Never heard of it. Then we have the Olympian, another one with a green top on it. Really not sure about these colours. I don't know, these colour liveries always sort of leave me a bit, because I don't know what sort of colour goes with them. We have another one, the Deludamol, number 62, with a light blue bottom half, and also noticing blue on the cage as well. Hadn't actually noticed that some of the liveries were changing the cage colours. But there you are. That Spenders was actually a white cage. The Olympian has the green cage. The Deludamol has the blue cage. Interesting. So at least you can tie that in. That's cool. Then we have Spenders Alternate, which just has sort of like a silvery look. I think we might be able to find a nice colour that goes with that, even though I'm not too sure about the super modern graphics. And then we also have Estancia, which sounds like some sort of beer. Oh, Pissfusser. Pissfusser Estancia. This must be some sort of new type of Pissfusser beer. Well, it's also in a nice cream as well. I don't know what livery to go for with this one. It's quite interesting. The Deludamol, I'm not really a fan of any of them, apart from maybe this, and make it like a proper full-blown racing car. So let's see what colours we can get that goes with this. Let's have a look. Actually, I think the darker reds sort of go with the cream. Something like a Grace red or a Garnet red. Sunset red all sort of look pretty nice. The Cabernet red might be a little bit too much. But you really want to go for a colour that goes with cream, even though the brown doesn't really work. I think because the Pissfusser has that sort of like reddish coloured logo, I feel like we can reference that in the colour that we pick. Maybe even Blaze red would work. I don't know. Let's go for Grace red. And that's going to be that done, I believe. Now, that's definitely a race car. That's probably not my first choice of colour or liveries, but I wanted to make this one all kitted out first of all. And there we are. What have we got in the secondary colour here? Doesn't look like it's actually anything. Oh, it is actually just going to change the colour of the caging inside. So I guess we could make that match with the red. Why not? So either that or we can make it match with the cream. Let's see. Do you know what? It's interesting with the cream. I'm going to go with the red. I'm just going to put my foot down there and go with the same. Was it Grace red we went for? Yes, it was Grace red. Okay, that's Grace red all round. That is done. It's an interesting style. I definitely, if I was building this online and I was going to go for the racing look, I'd probably go with everything apart from the livery, and I'd just go for just a really nice colour, I think. But as far as liveries and paint jobs go, that's not too bad. I'm quite liking that. Oh, it sounds quite nice when you tune it all up. Very nice. Right, so hopefully the game won't crash for us again, and I'm going to find somewhere to pull in so we can build the next version. Okay, I feel like this, we've been here before to mod cars, but I like this place. Apart from this guy. This guy we're going to have to sort out again in a fun way. How can we kill him in a fun way? I know. There we go. Shuts him up. And maybe a bit of petrol. And maybe a bit of fire. Yeah, that'll do. That'll stop the noise. Right, so, apart from all the gore, let's get back into the car. In fact, let's not get back into this one. Let's park this one up and spawn in a new one so we can do a speed build. Okay, here we are, and a couple of points now that I finished this. First of all, this is supposed to be some sort of like street Bosozoku style one. I've gone for these crazy thick arches. I did risk the front grille. I'm still not sure on the look. It's a bit off for me, but I wanted to go for something really brash and crazy with this one. So I've taken that risk even though I'm not really too sold on it. Also, I'd just like to note, there is the option for machine guns in the bumper. I mean, why? Why is this a thing? Genuinely, this can shoot machine guns. This must be why it costs so much money, but why? This was such a cool car and you stick this stupid thing and it doesn't really make sense and fit the car. It just seems like a stupid extra that Rockstar put in to sell it for more money than it should, really. Really don't understand that. Do you know what? I really, really, really hate that front grille. I'm going to have to change it. I mean, we could just have the stock. That's just pretty much the biggest thing that I'm finding is just I'm not really liking any of the grills for these builds. Maybe we should just go for the blacked out. I think that might be a much better choice. As for the colour, well, I'm just, you know, wanting to play with the new toys. These are the colours that I hadn't really ever used before, even though they are pretty bright. We could also go with the blue, which actually I feel is better. But even then, I don't know. We could also go for some pearlescent as well. I don't think that's actually going to make a blind bit of difference, though. Yeah, I don't think we're actually going to notice any of that, so we'll just keep that as default. And actually, I'm thinking maybe we can get the wheels to match, or we could... This is definitely one of those weird ones where I just wanted to just do something really brash and crazy. That fluorescent blue is just slightly off, isn't it? It's just slightly off, which makes me feel that I should go for something that's just a little bit different to match. Yeah, this is getting sort of weird now. Yeah, I'm going to just change the color just a little bit, I think. Here we are. This is better. Police blue, it's, I mean, as you can see, compared to the other one, nowhere near as bright. We don't need to put our sunglasses on to have a look at the car, which I think is definitely a lot better. I definitely think, yeah, that's just a little bit more real life, I would say. I'm a big fan of that. Right, so let's quickly go to V-Stancer. And as this is supposed to be a Bosozoku build, I definitely want to have some smaller wheels on this. So again, I'm going to make these smaller, but I'm definitely not going to overdo the smallness of the wheels because I've really made these too low in the past and regretted it. So I'm just going to go for a little bit wider. There we go. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Nothing too crazy. Although that is pretty wide, but we'll see. So let me just put all these down here onto the ground. There we go. And then I'm just going to go for some visual lowering on the rear. I'm going to bring that rear track width in, which I always say track width. I always say that wrong. And then some more on the front, track width in, like that. A bit more down on the front. Oh, that is nice though, isn't it? That is nice. And we get a little bit of rear camber. Why not? Seems we've got the style for the car. Why not go crazy? And there we are. Look at that. That's pretty mad. That's pretty out there. Maybe you guys can let me know what you think. Oh, that's a nice view of those wheels there as well. And there we are. Actually, just a little bit too low on that side, as you can see, now that we've moved away. But it's okay. Just get the front height there. And knock it up. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Well, the other car despawned. I didn't actually notice that. But there is that second build. Done. I don't know what I should do with the third one. We have got that GT kit. I don't know if we can make anything out of it. This is very, very cool, though. I do like it. I didn't go for the crazy sort of like matching the camber angle to the angle of the arches, because that might just be a little bit too much. We could give it a try, though. Seems like you guys sometimes say that I don't do the camber crazy enough. Maybe you're just being sarcastic. Who knows? But let's see. We'll get that out to about there. We'll have to go up on the height just a little bit to make that work. And I think that might be it. I might actually just go to the rear on the tire radius and just bring it up just a little bit so that it makes it look a bit more realistic on how it's touching on the floor. Which means we'll definitely have to go with the rear height up a little bit more again. There we are. There's the even more stanced version than before. This thing is mad. Absolutely crazy. How about that for an angle? Right, let's do one more speed build on something. I'll try and make it a little bit different. Let's see how we go. Okay, and here we are done with the first part of this build. And I figured, seems we've already gone for the crazy in the stance, there wasn't really anything else that we could do with that style. And seems in the rally thing we could only take so far in the stock build without using mods. I wanted to do a proper rally build with this one. Like proper off-road wheels, raised suspension, maybe just making the wheels a little bit bigger, perhaps. I don't know if it will look a bit odd with them bigger, but we'll give it a try. Maybe a little bit wider, poke them out a little bit. So there we are done with the main part. I've just gone for like the lightweight, plasticky looking things all around arches, bumpers. I was going to try and use the GT side skirt things, but I just couldn't get a front to really match it, and I just wasn't really into it. So I went for that. No louvers or anything, just a nice lightweight thing, but I went for the cool little white rally stripe on the side just to use a livery, just to try and use some of the parts. And we've gone for the matte olive drab and the desert tan as well on the inside. Right, so let's just go V-Stancer, and let's just go for, first of all, suspension menu. I just want to make this a little bit higher first of all, so we have our base. And I reckon about that high is going to look pretty nice. So I want to get the trek width out just a little bit, just a couple, because I want to make the wheels just a little bit wider perhaps. They are actually pretty wide as they are though. Let's just try and get a little bit bigger on the wheels. That could be cool. That might just be a little bit too big though. That's what I'm worried about. But we'll give it a try. We'll definitely have to make this a little bit taller than it is now. And we'll go with some more wheel width like that, which obviously makes it stick out a lot more. This is definitely a little bit less rally and a little bit more like a lifted monster truck sort of, I don't know. This is sort of like an off-roader version now. But it works. Sorta. I don't know. Maybe you guys can decide. What do you think? It's different. And that's why I did it. Especially these two. I'm not really, I don't think anyone's going to like the first one that we did. But out of these two, I would love for you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section below. These things look amazing. I love just, oh god, I love how different they both look. I love it. There's a picture right there. So there we go, guys. That is it. Let me know in the comment section below which one you prefer. Is it this one or is it this awesome off-roader style? I don't know. I'm very scared of moving away from where I am in case it crashes, but actually let's just take this with us and see if we can't go just a little bit of off-roading just so we can get something a bit more picturesque for this build now that we've completed it. Okay, here we are. This is now fitting for its environment. There we go. This looks absolutely amazing in this environment. I love this. Let's just pull over somewhere like here and just get some nice pictures like that. Yeah, get a load of that. That's how a thumbnail's made, if you've ever wondered. Just get a nice location, get a nice car, bit of tilt. Why not? There we go. Sexy. Super nice. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would also like for you guys to actually send me pictures of your Silvestras. Seems you're on the subject of it, you can send me pictures of them via Twitter at Figureight. Links to my Twitter in the description below. I'd love to see how you've built your Silvestras. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye!